Welcome to Business or Pressure, taking the pain out of massage business with me, Allissa Haines. This is your no-nonsense guide to building a happy, sustainable massage therapy business. It's our mission to make sure that every massage therapist and body worker has the tools to make a living wage in a thriving business. One of those tools, my friends, is HobaCare Jojoba, 100% pure, high-quality jojoba. It is ideal for massage and bodywork professionals. I have been using it in my massage practice for well over 15 years. It is the closest product to the natural sebum our skin produces. It provides a really nourishing massage medium that won't clog pores. You can use it with just about every kind of modality. It is non-allergenic. You can use it on every client and any client without worrying about allergic reactions. HobaCare is shelf stable and won't stain your natural fiber sheets, and it won't go rancid, wrecking all those expensive essential oils you added to it. It is an excellent choice for professional use, and it will overall save you money. With HobaCare Jojoba, you can offer your clients a superior experience that benefits both skin health and overall well-being. Our listeners receive 20% off their order with code ABMP. You can learn more at HobaCare.com. So welcome to the last episode of 2024. And I'm recording this over Thanksgiving weekend. And I've been sitting on this episode for a while because it's been rolling around in my head. And in order to jump in, I have to go back to my 5th grade science class. And in that class, we learned what inertia is. And in my brain, the definition of inertia is stored as an object in motion tends to stay in motion, and an object at rest tends to stay at rest, unless and until acted on by another force. And it's just one of those little bits of info that is stuck in my brain, and I think of it every so often for whatever reason. And I was thinking about it in terms of business. And a little while ago, when I was prepping for this episode, I thought, I don't even know if that definition is real or if it's just a bit of words strung together that I memorized incorrectly or correctly from 5th grade. So I was looking it up and actually doing some dictionary definitions and reading a little bit. And I came across on the Merriam-Webster website a little bit about, it says more to know. What else you can know about inertia? Fun to know. And it said in there, inertia is the inherent property of a body that makes it oppose any force that would cause a change in its motion. And it stuck with me because it said it will oppose any force that would cause a change. And humans, we oppose change. We resist change. It is a thing that we do because change typically means discomfort or awkward conversations or having to learn something new or having to learn how to feel a different way about something. And it follows that we read discomfort as bad. Of course, logically, we know that discomfort is not always bad. It's a signal. It's a reaction. We can change that reaction, and we see it all the time if we actually look hard enough to see it. So think about this. We meet a massage therapist fresh out of school. They are excited and passionate and happy to be picking out things like business cards. They are enthusiastic. And that newness and enthusiasm is bigger than the discomfort, right? And then I think about myself and so many colleagues who've been in this for a long time and often come off as rather beat down by the drudgery of running a business. And it's a business based in caregiving even, so throw ourselves some props there. We tend to lack that enthusiasm and that newness, and it's harder to get excited. And it can be really hard to build up the momentum to make any kind of change. So we put off updating the website because the platform changed and we have to figure out the new menu. So we don't switch the gift certificate system because it's a ton of work. And again, there's a learning curve there. So maybe we don't add an online scheduling system because that means you have to learn something. Anything with a learning curve, we tend to avoid changing something because it requires a hassle or a learning curve. But if we did update the website, we would get more of our favorite kind of clients. If we did update the gift certificate system, we would pay lower fees and have easier online sales. If we did work up the courage and motivation to raise prices, we would have a larger income. And this resistance to change, this inertia, can also involve avoiding awkward conversations like eliminating some discounts or changing your schedule. We just stick with that status quo. So I ask you this, what can you shake off? What change can you embrace in the next year? It helps to consider, what will that change mean to you? Like the example before, if we did update the website and our service descriptions, we would get more of our favorite kinds of clients. What is the positive outcome of that change? Articulate it, write it down, get it in your head, make it rhyme, write a song about it. That's your target, that's your motivation, that's your goal. Pep talks are great here, but what about the actual practical, logistical aspects of making a change? Like every time I walk out of a live concert or every time I see a musical, I leave thinking, oh God, I used to love music. I could get really into that. Maybe I could play the guitar again. But I don't really put together the practical aspects of that. And that's why, I'm not a singer-songwriter. But with these kinds of business goals and changes, there's a pretty clear system of how to create and implement a change. It's not sexy. It's not glamorous. It involves work. Again, that's what keeps us in motion or not in motion. But let's just knock through some of the steps anyway. Break it down. What are the things that need to happen to make that change? So if you're going to change your service menu and raise your prices, you're going to have to decide what your service menu is. What are you going to eliminate? How are you going to change the descriptions? You're going to have to update that on your website and in your scheduling system if that also includes a menu of services. You're going to have to think through the pricing. A lot of us get to this step of writing down all the little aspects of whatever task is in front of us, and then we never actually move forward with doing any of those tasks. The thinking, the creating is the part that releases the dopamine, and then the actual doing is a little less exciting and tends to not get done. So what's it going to take? Do you need to put it in your calendar? Do you need to get a buddy to work with you? And I want to keep in mind that changes in business don't have to happen in a short amount of time. You don't have to sit down and do this all in 1 week. If it suits you to chip away at this, that's cool. Space it out. And at the same time, if you know you're someone who will write down in your calendar that on Monday at 9 or sometime on Monday, you are going to rewrite your service descriptions. If you know you're going to ignore that task and the thing's never going to get done, maybe you do need to do all the things all at once. Maybe you do need to set aside 1 day and set up some kind of external accountability or deadlines or someone who's going to hold you to what you say you're going to do. When I build websites for massage therapists, I insist that the start to finish time of the project is no more than 6 weeks. Because if someone says a contract and they give me their deposit and the next step for them is to get me the copy for their website, it will drag on and on and on. But if people have a hard deadline and someone to be accountable to, if they know they have to get the copy to their website to me by Friday at 4 p.m., or their website will not be ready a week later when we have our wrap-up meeting, and they're going to have to pay me either way, that tends to get people in gear. Sometimes even with bigger projects, a short timeline with accountability built in is more effective than breaking it down and scheduling it over 6 months. You got to figure out what works best for you. And it really, really helps to keep that target, keep that positive outcome of the change in front of you at the top page of your date book or on the background desktop of your computer or the background of your phone. Slap that sticky note on your dashboard or your bathroom mirror, whatever internal or external deadlines you need to set with some reward or consequence, do it. And maybe drop me an email to tell me what you're conquering, because I love to hear about it, businessorpressure@abmp.com. If you can overcome whatever inertia in your business is keeping you from being a little more successful, if you can get enthusiastic about making a change so that the discomfort is not quite so uncomfortable, well, that'd be a really good win for 2025. So let me know how that goes. Today's high five goes out to my enthusiastic podcast producer and audio engineer at ABMP, Colin Kelleher. Colin's one of those guys where every email interaction you have is just positive and helpful. And you know how sometimes you just think to yourself, oh, if people could just do the job they're supposed to do, everything would be easier. Colin is one of those guys that does the job he's supposed to do reliably and with a delightful attitude. And I found that with everyone at ABMP, but nowadays Colin is the guy I communicate with the most. And that guy deserves a shout out. So thanks, Colin. You're the best. If you have a question about running your business or an idea for an episode, reach out via email at businessorpressure@abmp.com. You can also find me building websites and doing budget coaching over at deepbreathdigital.com. Make sure you're subscribed to ABMP's podcast because you don't want to miss anything. 2025 is going to be a great year. There is so much to learn about building and maintaining a massage business. We're going to help you cover it right here. I will meet you for the next episode. I can't wait.